Hello, hello, hello. This is Ashley, and I am here for another Doctor Who recap. So, obviously, I will be spoiling the episode The Witch's Familiar, which is part two following The Magician's Apprentice. If you want to see my recap for The Magician's Apprentice, I'll put it over here. So, this episode delved into a whole bunch of interesting material, and a whole bunch of crazy things ended up happening in this episode. So, let's just get into it. So, first off, everything started out with a bang in which we realized that Clara and Missy were actually teleported. This was actually a trick that the Doctor had discovered and pretty much used. And Missy somehow managed to do this. I'm not entirely sure how, but they were teleported, not exterminated. Obviously, we kind of knew that was going to happen, but it was great to see that and how it connected back to the Doctor and all of that. But from there on is where we got to the really interesting things, and that was Missy messing with Clara. And there was a lot of messing with her, from whether it was just Missy threatening Clara as being food and telling her to get her own stick, or whether it was her literally trying to set the Doctor on Clara to try to get rid of her. She sees Clara as an annoyance and wants her out of the way. End of the question. That's it. It's really interesting to see that dynamic, but also seeing them having to try to work together was really interesting. I kind of died laughing when they were looking over the Dalek sewer and they didn't know how deep it was, and Missy's way of figuring out how deep it was by pushing Clara into it and determined that it was about 20 feet. It's kind of a jerk move, but totally expected from Missy. And so their dynamic was just really, really interesting throughout the episode. Another dynamic that we really got to see a lot on this episode was Davros and the Doctor. And this was a very intricate, elaborate play, and it was really interesting to watch it. So Davros is dying, but the Doctor is the Doctor. He's compassionate. And Davros wanted to use that against the Doctor, but not before they actually had some really touching moments. I thought that was done extremely well, because while you could tell that Davros was still trying to use him and that there was something lying beneath what he was saying, you could tell that there was some genuine nature to what he was actually trying to say. He does seem to respect the Doctor, and he did feel like he was truly compassionate to the Doctor's cause. But that said, he is still Davros, and that does not mean that he is not going to use the Doctor to meet his own needs, and that means protecting his people, which is actually one of the things that he mentioned. For him, taking care of his own people is the utmost thing that he needs to do, and that in this case meant using the Doctor and trying to play the Doctor. However, as we all know, and we were kindly reminded in the beginning, particularly when we found out about the whole teleportation issue, was that the Doctor is always 2 steps ahead. And that meant he understood and realized what Davros was trying to do. So what we really got was this interesting play and dynamic between the two of them that was just fantastic to watch. Where things got really messy and really interesting with the whole Dalek mythology was really while we were seeing Clara inside one of the Dalek chairs. The last Dalek chair. Funny. However, it was actually once we actually got Clara in that chair, thanks to Missy, that we kind of got a better understanding of these Daleks. What they are saying and what they might be feeling may actually be completely different, what we're hearing, from what they're actually feeling. So this is in large part because of the way that the Daleks are created and programmed. Essentially, we learned that whenever Daleks feel strong emotion, that's when they're trying to exterminate and shooting their beams. It's really interesting. When Clara said, "I love you," exterminate. When Clara said, "I am Clara," all that came out was, "I am a Dalek." And you get this understanding that these might be these creatures inside that may have different feelings than what we're actually seeing happen on the outside. So I mean, I'm sure that the Daleks are completely nasty for the most part, but there is still this element that maybe not all of them are truly as evil as we have previously seen. Obviously, this has to be somewhat true, otherwise we wouldn't have had the entire existence of Dalek Sec. So, I mean, Dalek Sec obviously was a hybrid, but if a creature was truly evil, it wouldn't really matter if they were a hybrid. It would still be completely evil, and I never really got that from Dalek Sec. So overall, I just really like the little touches and the additions, particularly also the addition of Mercy and the fact that the Doctor went back in time to save Davros back then, destroying all the hand mines and not actually exterminating him, was really what made it so that there was mercy, and it ultimately saved Clara's life. But getting a bit more of an understanding of the Daleks and what they are saying versus what they might actually be thinking was really, really interesting, and I'm looking forward to delving into that a bit more as everything goes forward. But I really, really enjoyed this episode. It tied everything up nicely, including the fact that Missy was pushed off for what she tried to do to Clara and is potentially going to the Daleks for help, which can be an interesting dynamic that we'll see further on. But it was a great episode to me. Why don't you guys let me know what you thought of the episode down below? Obviously, I will continue doing these videos as long as people keep watching them and commenting and liking these videos. If you guys don't do that, I will stop making them. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like this video, and if you have something to say, comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.